Give me two positions that might be tough for the Niners to fill moving forward.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this a lot because Trent Williams is on his last leg. They're going to have to replace him. You've got George Kittle. Who knows how long he's got. Deebo Samuel, they're going to replace on the fly. CMC in a few years, they're going to have to replace. The two positions I keep coming back to, though, one of them they've never just been able to fill consistently at all, and that's the center position. For whatever reason, they cannot land on a center that is very good. The heartbeat of the offense, as Kyle Shanahan says.
Yeah.
The same thing that Tom Brady essentially said. So how are they going to all of a sudden find a really good center that can be here for a long time? And then number two for me, tight end. They hit the lottery with George Kittle, but ever since then, man, they can't even find a second guy that can last for more than a season or two. They just keep piecing it together behind them. They keep drafting it. It fails. Now they've got an undrafted guy. They brought in a veteran. We'll see how that works behind them. It sounds like they wanted a tight end in round 2, but Washington took their guy, and so they pivoted. I don't know. It seems like tight end is just that position that keeps evading them outside of Kittle. And that's a big get. Don't get me wrong. Getting Kittle was awesome, but they haven't been able to get the number 2 tight end. Why do I feel confident that all of a sudden they're going to find a replacement for Kittle in 2 years? I don't know. So those are the two positions for me that I'm going to look out for. Center, tight end.
Yeah. I mean, they've been hopeless at tight end. They lucked into Kittle. Let's be frank. I didn't say frankly. I said, let's be frank. That's different. They lucked into Kittle like they lucked into Brock. And
Are you like getting called out for this frankly thing, or is this just something you've noticed?
No, Stephen A. Smith used to say it. He had a show called Quite Frankly. And I was like, really? Like, you have to say that all the time? Like, we know that's your whole shtick. So I'm going to stop. I'm trying to not say an unnecessary adverb. But yeah, like, in another position, quarterback. God forbid anything ever happens to Brock Purdy in the next 15 years. The Niners are screwed. They have no idea what to look for. Not just Kyle. It's the whole organization, top down. No clue. Absolutely not, man. Aaron Rodgers, not their style. Patrick Mahomes, not their whatever. Speed. Alex Smith, Trey Lance, when they really go for it, they just... No. Those two positions for sure. Tight end and quarterback. Good thing Kittle's 23. He'll be around.
Yeah. But really good thing Brock is. Because, and hopefully he can stay healthy. That's the other thing. I didn't even think about quarterback just because I figured that Brock's going to be here. But
yeah, and the Niners do a great job of keeping their quarterbacks healthy and upright. Such a good job. Yeah. They've done it season after season after season. I'm not worried about Brock at all. I think Brock's in good hands. They really, reinforced the offensive line.
That's true.
And he's fine.
Yeah. I forgot about the
Kyle Shanahan has like weird ulterior motives or like a history of kind of hanging his quarterbacks out to dry or not protecting them or like, he wouldn't do that. Like, sure, he ran Trey Lance up the middle over and over and over and over again, but that was just good coaching. That was just good scheme. And so if he starts calling, like 7-step drops from under center for Brock Purdy, real long developing plays behind a shaky offensive line, that's just a good decision. And that's on Brock to get the ball out quicker. Like, when he got hurt in Philly, it's a great example. That wasn't Kyle's fault. A lot of people thought it was. It was all 100% Brock's.
It's true. He should have stepped up. He should have played football better. That's the coaching point. Do better.
Have you tried harder? Have you tried playing better? Because what would Tom Brady do in that situation? He would do better. So that's what I would tell you, Brock.
Yeah, try harder, do better.
Yeah.
Either of those things would have been great in that situation, but you didn't. So now you're hurt.
Matt McEwen didn't Veach draft Mahomes? Reed had a story about it. I'm also not defending Kyle. Reed has 2 Super Bowls because of Kyle.
No, I know you're not defending Kyle. Reed had a whole game plan for it, though. He went to Texas Tech, learned his offense, incorporated part of the offense, chose to sit him for a year. I mean, he had a whole thing lined up. You want to know what the game plan was for Trey Lance? We don't we don't develop guys. That's for them to do in the offseason. That's what Kyle Shanahan said. When you asked Andy Reid, he's like, oh, yeah, no, we've learned his offense. We're going to incorporate that. We're going to sit him for a year. He had a whole game plan ready to go.
Also, it's not like Andy Reid went to Veach and was like, don't draft this guy. I don't want him. I have a different plan. I have a better plan at quarterback, because I think that's what happened with the Niners. John Lynch was at the pro day for Patrick Mahomes. He called Kyle and was like, man, this guy looks pretty good. And Kyle's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We got this, Kirk Cousins. I got a plan. We're going to do it my way. So just by not being intrusive,
I thought
Andy Reid was way better.
Going to go. I thought the story was he was going to go to the pro day, and Kyle was like, nah, I want Kirk Cousins, so don't even waste your time. Or maybe
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe the story was he couldn't get Kyle to the pro day. I don't remember. There was something with the pro day, but either way, Kyle definitely was the kibosh to that one.
Jesse Wade says McNabb and Favre. Who has Kyle had on that level? I'm not saying he's Brett Favre, but McNabb? Can we look at McNabb's numbers? It's amazing that they weren't, man. Let's look at his completion percentage.
When did Andy Reid have Favre? And you spelled Favre wrong. It's F-A-V.
He was one of the position coaches with Green Bay back in the day. He wasn't even the offensive coordinator of that team. But okay, McNabb, like completion percentage, starting in 2000, 58, 57, 58, 57, 64. Wow. 59, 57, 61, 60, 60, 58. Like, he was okay. His career quarterback rating was 85.
Shanahan
he could run
got
around,
Favre,
he could ad lib, but Brock Purdy was better than Donovan McNabb.
Or excuse me, Shanahan got McNabb. You know what he did with him? He benched him.
It's amazing that Andy Reid did as well as he did. And I hope I'm not speaking out of time. I think my dad's told this story, but my dad used to talk on the phone with Bill Walsh all the time. And Bill Walsh hated Donovan McNabb. Hated him. Like, he throws the ball differently every single time. It never looks the same. How can you? And I guess he probably thought less of Andy Reid because of it. Like, if I coached Donovan McNabb, he'd have good footwork. But anyway, Andy Reid did a really good job with him. Did a really good job with Mike Vick. Could Kyle have done that with Mike Vick?
I don't know.
Could Kyle have did what Andy Reid did with Alex Smith? Would Kyle have wanted that? Could he have done it? I don't know.
And not that, by the way, I'm like arguing with Jesse as if he's like arguing. He's just pointing out as I don't know that if he's had anybody that good. I don't think McNabb was that great, though. I really don't.
I thought Garcia was better than him, but maybe I was wrong. Kyle Levy had 9 All-Pros. Casey had 3, and Reid is still slapped. Has Reid ever won Coach of the Year? Hall of Fame coach.
I
don't think he has.
No?
Fish and chips by George. Oh.
Gosh.
Oh. CB Niners. Brady deflated footballs. Brock should too.
Hey, when it's raining, maybe.
Smithers says this year Kyle has no one to blame on a solo boat.
I'm on a boat.
I mean, I thought that was the case last year, but he still found Ray McLeod and Steve Wilkes. So I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, there's always somebody. There's always somebody. Hey, when you think there's not a scapegoat, he'll find one. I guarantee
it's like, it's Ray's fault because he fumbled, but McCaffrey fumbled and he just became the highest paid running back of all time. So go figure, man. I don't know. All right. It's getting almost dark out here on the West Coast, which means it's time for this show to end. It's also hot as balls out here, which is the hottest it can be. So
I was going to say, how hot are balls, Grant?
98.6 degrees. That was inappropriate. Thank you for watching, everyone. I apologize for that off-color joke. I will be back tomorrow with the coach. I hope. Because you never know what's going to happen, in a day. Kyle Shanahan. Learned that from him. He's a philosopher.
He is a philosopher. Kyle Levy did draft CJ Beathard. I see that, Brother Bob.
Great pick. He's still in the league.
He is.
He's probably the best third-string quarterback in the league. Anytime you can get a good third-string quarterback in round 3, you've got to do that.